least one free copy of Canadian Dimension, and if you were clever, you actually picked up a couple on the table outside. An excellent progressive magazine in Canada, and provided copies for free to all of the conference registrants. And Professor Henry Heller gave a great talk last night, so thank you so much, and we hope to have you back in Vancouver again soon. We're going to change the order of our conclusion here just a little bit, and I'm going to welcome up Thomas Davies to give the conference summary, and following that I'll be inviting up Kelly White and friends for our Indigenous closing, and doing a bit of a conference closing at the end of that. I want to encourage all of you to stay with us. I know that it's been a long day, but this will go by probably in about 15 or 20 minutes. And we have some important thank yous that we want to do to our Cuban guests, and with our Cuban guests, with Kelly and her friends, and so we'd like you to all be here to participate in that. So please do stay. It's going to be a powerful moment that I want you all to be here to participate in. But for right now, I'd like to welcome up Thomas Davies. He is on the editorial board of the Fire This Time newspaper, and he is also an executive member of Vancouver Communities in Solidarity with Cuba. So please give a warm welcome to Thomas.
It's a biological affliction. I had no control over my height. And I don't know what Tamara's talking about 15 minutes, because I have at least 1 hour and a half of points that I think is really important that you guys listen to. Just kidding. But yeah, we think this is an important part of the conference, to try and give some sort of synthesis, to try and give some sort of summary, to explain why we thought this was important, to explain why for the past 8 months since we've planned this conference, and for the past especially 2 months of intense organizing, this was worth organizing. It was worth bringing people from all over the world. It was worth designing all sorts of new banners with important slogans on them. It was worth connecting with people. It was worth all of the effort for us, and it was worth it for you who have stayed through over 20 hours of program to do this Che Guevara International Conference. It's been a long 3 days. We started Friday night with an amazing concert by Gerardo Alfonso. We had over 120 people in the room. We raised over $1,000 for hurricane relief in Cuba, so give yourselves a big round of applause for that. And then, as I said, today and yesterday we've had over 20 hours of program. We've had 7 workshops, 3 keynote addresses, 1 special session. In the total we'll have had 3 Indigenous welcomings and closings. And one thing that I think is really important is that all of the discussion periods haven't stopped because people have had nothing to say. There's always been people at the microphone, there's always been points to discuss, there's always been issues and questions and relevance to these ideas that we're discussing. And we've discussed a lot. We've discussed Cuba's foreign policy, domestic policy. We've discussed very specific things about Cuba's democracy. We've discussed very specific things about cooperatives. And then we've been even more general topics about Che and Fidel and their influence today. And we haven't shied away from tough issues. And we haven't tried to paint the revolution or revolutionary process as a bed of roses, or as easy, or as without mistakes, or without challenges. And I think we've discussed very in depth a lot of the challenges facing not just Cuba, but the world, and people who want to change the world for a better place. But we've also shown that despite all of these challenges, it is so worthwhile to continue the struggle. And that is something that Cuba and Venezuela show us, that there will always be challenges because what we are up against are such huge forces. But if we stick with it, if we organize together, if we fight together, if we plan together, we can do amazing things. And Cuba has done amazing things, Venezuela has done amazing things, and we too can do and will do amazing things. And that's the point of this conference, is that we like talking about these things. I was so interested in listening to Luis Morote's presentations about how Cuba is building democracy, participation, art, and culture in the revolution. Like, I could just talk about those things because I'm interested in them. They're fascinating to me. I thought it was amazing that we had one of the premier musicians of Cuba perform a concert one night and then give such an in-depth and thoughtful presentation the next day. I'm interested in those things. But we're not just here because we're interested in Cuba or we're interested in Venezuela or we're fascinated by these revolutions, because they are fascinating. We're here for a reason, and the reason is we want to do the same thing in our country and around the world. And so that's the one thing that we hope people can come away from this conference from. That's the one thing that whenever we're trying to discuss or make a decision about what to have, what kind of banner to print, what kind of speaker to bring, is how will this help us understand? What kind of tools will this give us? What will we learn to be able to move forward, to advance the struggle of oppressed people in Canada and around the world? So that's why we're here. And we think we've accomplished some important things. We've made advances, new connections, new ideas. I think there's nobody that came to this conference that could say they don't have a better idea, a better understanding, some more tools to use in their own struggles. I think everybody here could say that they've learned something that they can apply. And so that's what we're asking for, is that please, this conference was interesting, but let's not just have this have been an interesting weekend. Let's have this be an interesting weekend that brought us together, that motivated us, that educated us, and inspired us to continue working and building that better world that Cuba, that Venezuela, and the Russian Revolution have proved are possible. Because we need it. We don't have much time, literally. And not only do we need it, but we can do it. And Cuba and Venezuela show how great it can be and how much better it can be if those countries aren't constantly under attack. Imagine what Cuba could have done without over 50 years of United States and Canada and other imperialist countries' attacks. What they've been able to do under attack and what they could have done, not just from a country not being attacked, but if they had cooperation from all these countries with all these resources. What is possible today is immense. Let's not forget that. We're not fighting for a better world, we're fighting for an amazing world, because an amazing world is possible. So thank you very much, everybody. We've got one more really important ceremony by Kelly White, and then one more comments by Tamara. But let's keep on fighting together, because this conference shows, and Cuba and Venezuela shows, that we can win. Thank you very much.
Viva Cuba! Viva Fidel! Viva Che! Viva Raúl! Viva Venezuela! Viva Chavez! Viva Maduro! I could keep going. All right. I want to thank Thomas so much for coming and giving us a summary and perspective on this. Our translation equipment team has arrived to pick up the translation equipment because we're a little bit over time. So we need to actually give back our equipment. But before you run and do that, well, actually, no. Run and do that and then come back, and I'm going to introduce our final guests. Por favor, tu cosa de traducción, ellos están aquí para recoger. Entonces, por favor, Dale y vamos a continuar con nuestra clausura. So we have had some amazing guests this weekend from Professor Henry Heller and Saigonic, who had to depart, to Moon Vasquez and Deborah, who came from Seattle, to Wendy Holm, who joined us from Bowen Island as a teacher at UBC in the Sustainable Agriculture program with Cuba. We've had the pleasure of hearing music from legendary Cuban musician Gerardo Alfonso, but we've also had the pleasure of hearing him speak. We broadcast from London Helen Yaffe, Economic History Fellow. We had Professor Isaac Saney from Dalhousie University, Arnold August, author of 3 amazing books on Cuba. We had Chief Bob Chamberlain here this morning to make the connection to Indigenous people and their struggles today. We've been joined by our Cuban Consul General, Tania Lopez Larroque, all the way from Toronto. From our Venezuelan Consul General here in Vancouver, Wilfredo J. Perez Bianco. And from, as well, by Luis Morlote Rivas, member of Cuban Parliament and Vice President of the Union of Writers and Artists. It has been a tremendous 3 days here at the Russian Hall in Vancouver. And now I'm very honored to invite up 4 amazing people who are all from various Indigenous nations in British Columbia, but also amazing activists who have all stood for many important causes over the years, not only Indigenous causes, but many social justice causes across the world. And they are going to bring us together in thanks for this great weekend that we've had together. Before we do that, I want to recognize again that the Russian Hall is on the unceded traditional Coast Salish territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations, and that it is our honor and privilege to work and discuss and debate on these lands. We're going to be joined on stage by Kelly White, a Coast Salish elder and longtime activist, broadcaster, and teacher, by Martin Sparrow of the Musqueam Nation, Shona Shutter of Okanagan Nation, and Vivian Sandy, who is of Shuswap and Northern Diné. And so we're very honored to have them here with us in this closing event. They will also talk a little bit more about what brought them here and in their closing. So please give a warm welcome to these 4 awesome guests.
Who feels too smart now? HYLCM, CIM in our language, best interpreted is it's an honor to be in your aura, honor to be in your presence. The response is Eatsen, sort of means as in you. So HYLCM, CIM. In the Salish ways, our governance, we blanket a speaker. We honor the special ones the spirits brought here with their crucial message. We should invite our special guests.
Okay, so we would like to invite up Tanya as well as Gerardo and also Luis Merlote to come and join us on stage. You know what we'll do is we'll bring this table out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah. Vamos. Okay. Muy bien. Okay. Por arriba, por favor. Nada ahora.
Okay. So, as in the governance of our nations, most North Central South Americas, we have the blanket the speaker. My cousin family next door to us, the Shishwatan, asked to participate and suggested, she would like to honor the special guests, which are every person that been here for 3 days, to honor the gift of the time to listen to the medicines, the knowledge of the speakers throughout the last 3 days. So I accept from my, ask for help for what shall we do? Do you have anything on your shelf? So, being a love of revolution with Sister Cuba, our governance for blanketing is protection, the healing, the umbilical cord of revolution, to protect that in the spirit of the heart, mind, body, soul. And some, call that comfort or warmth. So we appreciate the speakers, the singers, the deliveries, each person that participated in the gathering. I'd like to honor all of you on behalf of us all. We're going to share the song Martin Sparrow from Musqueam. I asked him, Shauna, to help me to sew. She came asked me to sing, and so a few years ago for Idle No More, so she's been sewing ever since. Let's just show these blankets here. We have a thank you song coming from Martin Sparrow before we do these blankets. We appreciate the deliveries of Support Cuba Group since we met, probably in my teens, with the American Indian Movement when we were gun toting, and we gave up the Uzis for the easels, went to United Nations, went to parliamentaries, created ceasefires with our Support Cuba Group here for ceasefire for Chiapa, ceasefire for Gustafson Lake. The Canadian government attacked the Sundance, and a ceasefire for the support of the Mohawks. So we appreciate every person that participated in here. To reiterate, we are not alone. The 4 directions of the revolution, the movement on these blankets, the north is depicted by red, the west is depicted by blue, the south is depicted by white, and the yellow is depicted by, the east is depicted by yellow. And so the revolution of transformation from war to gain peace and to work with the enemy of our peace in the world way. Maybe it's not in Uzis, maybe it's not in easels, but as you heard from the last 3 days and the preparation the group has made for the last year to make this assembly possible, creating a semblance of justice. This blanketing is our governance, as well as the way the Support Cuba Group brought this gathering together for years in your honor, in the highest of the honors of revolution and the evolution that is created by each of our participants over the years. So the theme colors for Mini Wichoni of the Lakota language is water for life. Water is life, and on the land is the other side. So I invite 6 of our Cuba group to come forward, please. 6 of our Support Cuba group. I need 2 for each of the blanket. Aaron, sister, yeah, 6. Sister FMLN.
Yes, you too.
Yeah. Nicaragua, yeah, come up. So we share the knowledge and accept the knowledge and honor the knowledge of our speakers, our performers, to use our bodies as shields, use our mind, our spirit, and our work as the evolution of the revolution for stepping forward together. So each two of the committee could take one blanket. Two of the committee members will take one blanket each. On the front. Two blanket. Okay, two on each blanket. Yeah, and you carry the blanket, two members each. No. Yeah, you open the blanket and you hold the blanket. Yeah. Okay, so two of the Cuba, which very diverse community, a very diverse family we have, brothers and sisters from around the world. And for the work of Cuba, and that as one, we are one, not Samat. We are one. So we invite you to see these blankets, and we invite our three Cuba guests to step forward, not off the stage though. Not off the stage. Okay, so the way we're going to honor our guest is that two members step in front of each delegate with the blanket, and you lay that over their chest in front. Yeah, you put that on them in front, and you put that over in front of them so they cover their heart. That way we protect all that the revolution work that they are by the work and the support of our groups, international, that we work with in support of the revolution for peace and freedom. And this act of our governance of the Salish people and the international family here, we invite Martin. He wants to sing a song. And a song is about the evolution of the revolution, the umbilical cord, taking the umbilical cord off and cleansing it with the delivery of the speeches, the delivery of the music, the delivery of sitting in the chair and participating. So we invite you to stand for all of your own generations of families that brought you here in the spirit of revolution, and we honor every one of you in the house this evening, and we invite you to stand for the 7 generations of your families behind you, because the generations through your work is becoming the new free world in unity. So Martin Sparrow offer his song from Musqueam. You're in the house of Musqueam First Nation, and he'll share his song for the freedom of the revolution before we do circle song.
Hi, my name is Martin. I'm from Musqueam. It's a newborn song because what we're doing today is we're together, and it's a newborn song that I believe in, you know, what's happening with our Indigenous people all over the world. We're coming together, putting all our gifts together. We can't do it alone. So this is a newborn song. Okay? Ho All my relations, and today is a good movement, you know, because all of our indigenous people around the world are coming alive. We have to work together, you know, because we have a lot of gifted people out there that want to share their gifts and their knowledge. And this is what's going on right now, because as a little boy, 16 and whatever, that my people were always waiting for us to come together as indigenous people around the world. So all my relations, whew.
So with that, we invite the line to go take the stairs so we can make a line here. We're going to have a closing round dance. And we invite everyone to make a circle on that side. So you could take a step down here and line right here in front of the stage. And we invite everyone out here to make a circle on the outside of the chairs. We're going to have a closing shake your booties revolution, shake your buns dance, also known as round dance. So when we honor the guests, everyone come to side step, and known as round dance. Stomp dance is also, you can just stomp down straight forward if you like. And then when we do the song, the circle moves right on the parallel to this front stage. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Tamara. Yeah, Tamara, so they're all right here along the... Yeah, you're down there too. In a circle, just the guests are in the front line. The ones that were up here are in the front line, and then everyone else out there is making a circle. And while everyone else is making a circle, the special guests are in one line. And the assembly is in a circle, because we're going to make a circle dance. No, you just wait here. We're gonna have the special guests in one line, okay, and all the other people in a circle around the chairs. Yeah, no, you just go around. Just listen. Just around the chairs. Everyone is fine around the chairs. Doesn't have to be a very simple thing. We're gonna go in a circle. Everyone, 10 bosses do this, do that, do the other thing. That's one thing about being the speaker. The speaker is the speaker. And then there's 10 other people saying, go this way, go that way, go that way. That's why we have success in the revolution. You listen to the speaker, and then you act upon the conscience of the individual. So when you have one speaker and then 10 other people giving guidance, what happens? We're going to have a good circle here in celebration of honor of every one of our participants that were here for 3 days and 3 nights, and the coordinating committee in honor of their efforts for the last year to bring this assembly together. Again, Shuswap'em elder asked to, what are we going to do with these two? They go around giving a song. So we asked for the umbilical cord song. There's an engagement also. We're getting married here to the revolution in the future. There's also an engagement with Musqueam, our 2 nations, and our merit gal, So our grandma here brought a blanket to cover these two. They're getting married. A cause for celebration, eh? Woo-hoo! Somebody else is getting married and up this coming summer. So she asked, and I suggest you could cover them. They're being engaged at the assembly. So we celebrate the umbilical cord. By blank covering the speakers, we celebrate the coming of age of their revolution in Vancouver. And now the adult part, we celebrate newlyweds upcoming. And with this dance, we celebrate ourselves as grandparents of the revolution, and that our family and children will know no war. So our two engaged can step forward and they get covered by this blanket. And this scarf goes to Shauna. She helped sew for the last 20 hours. She did have a coffee break. So that's the governance of our people, that we honor the efforts and the gestures of the sacred part of life. In this case, there's the union of two people getting married. During the revolution, we do have time to come up and fall in love. So, okay, so with the heartbeat of the world and the world over, with the heartbeat of the revolution and the world over, we invite you to stomp dance. Put your so yeah, we just stomp dance on the spot. We're gonna follow Tamara and go around the circle that way, and then we shake hands with our special guests. Everyone behind Tamara will follow her with the round dance in celebration of the revolution today. So go ahead, you want to round dance with her? Oh, go ahead. Okay, so what we do in the round dance is shake hands and keep on going. Shake hands with the brothers and sisters that shook the world in the spirit of the highest honor of revolution, in the evolution of change, in the command of the spirit of total resistance, by the evolution and the generations that brought us here to support our spirit of revolution, that our children and great-grandchildren for the next 7 generations, you work for their honor. In the highest of the honor, we thank you for the pledge of being here and your pledge for yourself to make a better place and create a semblance of justice. In the spirit of the Americas that are here, in the spirit of the sisters and the brothers that are here, in the last 3 days we exchanging the information that we need to carry on, that we are one, we not Samat, we are one. In the spirit of total resistance with the Central Americas, we are one, not Samat. In the spirit of Cuba revolution, we are one, not Samat. Viva Cuba! In the spirit of our guest speaker from Venezuela and the revolution for the indigenous people's right to life, we are one, not Samat. Viva Venezuela. In the spirit of not Samat, we are one. Say not Samat. We are one, not Samat. In the revolution of the world community, we create a semblance of justice with everyone that we are. We appreciate the artists and the posters on the wall. We appreciate the writers that create books. We celebrate the singers that tell it in their music. We appreciate the artists that tell it in their visual and performing art. We appreciate the grandmothers that support the grandpas. Every grandpa's got to love a grandma. We support all those that are here with sisters and brothers in the heart of revolution, in the spirit of total resistance. We celebrate who we are. We live to the best of who we are. We give without want. We work without need. And that is how we survive in the revolution to the enemy of our peace, who stands no chance against our revolution. For the sisters only. Viva our brothers. Brothers only. Viva our sisters. Oh, come on, brothers. Don't be shy. Brothers only. Viva our sisters. I believe you, Amo. Sisters, let's show them how. Viva our brothers. Not Samat, we are one all together. Viva Cuba. Viva Venezuela! Viva to our storytellers! Viva to our music tellers! To our next 7th generation that survive the enemy to our peace, viva! Come on, a little louder than that. Mene Wichonie, in the spirit of Indigenous people's right to life, we will win against the enemy to our peace. Viva! What'd you say? To those that battle the enemy, that are the enemy to our peace, we don't know how to quit. We have no words for surrender. Viva our next 7 generations. Yeah, say it louder. And with that, our governance, we celebrate the ones that put their effort into this gathering with unconditional love. Hands together, stomp together, holler and scream with all your might for the co-hosts. For our brothers and sisters around the world, celebrating and fighting for the freedom of Cuba, sister, viva! There is no end to revolution even when we win. So we, in the highest of your honor, we thank you for your plight, for your efforts to come and share with us your evolution to strengthen our revolution. In the highest of your honor, thank you for your time.
Let's give a huge thank you to our guests, to Shona, to Kelly, to Viv. I tried, it wasn't working. Oh, now it is. All right, let's give a huge thank you to our guests. I would like to hear a big thank you to Kelly, to Shona, to Vivian, and to our friend Mr. Sparrow as well for his beautiful song. It's a huge honor to have all of you here with us and to celebrate your upcoming marriage. Congratulations. You're a lucky guy. All right, everybody, we have come to the conclusion of our 7th International Che Guevara Conference. We have had an amazing 3 days here at the Russian Hall, full of discussion, debate, art, culture, bringing to life the spirit of revolution and building the better world that we know we need, the better world that humanity deserves and that humanity is fighting for. And so I want to thank all of you for being here, all of you for sharing. I want to make a special mention of our organizing team, Vancouver Communities in Solidarity with Cuba. People have been postering and leafleting and designing banners and working really hard. Thank you to our translators, to Thomas, to Allison, to Noah, to Blanca. Thank you to Aza for all of her work on tech, along with Aaron Mercurdy and Noah, as well as Lynn Gangte, all of them bringing that together. Thank you to our food providers, our new Cuban friend, as well as the Hueso family and Thomas Davies, who pulled together delicious food that kept us going, along with Skyline Espresso, who brought us coffee every morning. This has been a huge communal effort, and we couldn't do it without all of you. So if I forget anyone, my apologies. But I know that you have all been working very hard to bring this conference to a successful 3-day event. So thank you so much. Muchas gracias. Viva Cuba! Viva Venezuela! Viva Fidel! Viva Raúl! Y viva el Che! Thank you. That wraps up our 7th International Che Guevara Conference. Thank you, everyone.